Greetings and salutations, my friends. Litecoin Lawton is back here on this beautiful day, Wednesday, 18th. We are looking at the charts today. Some very interesting patterns, some very interesting things that I want to share with you guys. This is my website, just for everybody that you guys can know, litecoinlawton.com. I will post it in the description page so you guys can check me out. Some very amazing things. You guys can look at all the news in one spot. I really like how this website, I'm not bragging, but I am biased, but I'm not bragging. This thing's done right. You guys can check out anything you want. If you guys are Dogecoin fanatics for Jay and Co out there, you guys, shout out to you guys. We can specialize just in Doge. Or if you do not like Doge, you may enter the Shibu. You can do Shibs. I personally love Litecoin. I not just because I'm Litecoin Lawton, but because I was drawn to Litecoin from the very beginning of this whole thing. And I'm going to go into some things tonight, you guys. And if you want to know, I'm going to go into why China is buying so much gold tonight. Why are they buying so much gold right now, and how, as an American and NATO nations unite, how do we move forward in a changing environment with Russia and the BRICS nations getting together and backing all their currencies by their new currency with gold, right? So that's what's going to happen, you guys. They're buying so much gold out there. So for people that don't know, China and Russia, Iran and India, there's a lot of a lot of countries out there that are losing faith in the dollar. And this article that I came across tonight, why the US will weaponize the dollar by backing it by Bitcoin. If you guys haven't read this article, I will put a post of this article in my description below. Check this out. This is an amazing theory, and I actually agree with a lot of this. I've read it twice now, and he basically says that this is where we are on global adoption of Bitcoin. And I wanted to go into this. So he says that if you zoom out, right, and I actually went into this a couple times, and it looks, if you zoom out really far, so we have all the history here, it kind of looks like this thing's leveling off, right? Like everybody, you've seen these charts where these guys just draw lines, and they're like, this thing's leveling off, and by the time 2024, it's going to be basically flat, or it's going to be, it's not going to be moving anywhere. Well, this guy is saying in this article that we haven't seen anything yet. The volatility incoming is going to be ridiculous. Like, we thought volatility was bad, but as traders, volatility is amazing. So we use volatility, whether the price is going up or down, it doesn't matter. But those big swings are the things that we're looking for. For investors who just hodl, obviously number go up. And I would make a case that Bitcoin, if we're going to just dollar cost average into a hodl position, Bitcoin would be a very safe place to put your money. So as far as the longevity and what is about to happen, from the second to third inning, you guys, we're on the second inning. The third inning, this is the third inning, right? This is like Google and countries and just US. Like, if the US goes, hey, all these BRICS nations buying gold, why are you buying so much gold? We cannot go back on a gold standard, because if we go back on a gold standard, he also says basically, if we can't go back on a gold standard, because it's going to be playing right into our enemy's hands. And not that saying that China's our enemy or Russia's our enemy, but it would be playing into the hands of people. It would disrupt the global order. And I am an American. I like to see life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I believe in unalienable rights for our mankind. I believe, Martin Luther King just had his birthday the other day. So that was the first time I ever had it off. It took like literally 80 years, like 90 years for his actions to finally kick in. But this thing is actually, Bitcoin. I think that the Fed right now, basically says that the Fed knows what it's doing right now, and it sucks because we have a lot of allies out there that are going to basically, their currency is going to hyperinflate before the US dollar. And so they will go back to the dollar. And there's a lot of countries out there that are actually just on the dollar. Like they've already pegged their currency to the dollar. Um, and I'm not going to go through this whole article with you guys, but there was one line I really loved. It was this line about chips. I have to read this to you. But so anyways, this article, I can get lost in this article. He makes some amazing points. I'm going to go into the charts real quick, not to consume myself too much with this, but basically we're moving out of a framework of gold, because gold is not as trustworthy as Bitcoin. I can prove Bitcoin's in a wallet, but I can't prove that you have all of the gold that you say you have. So I would personally be more upset, more worried if they were accumulating silver. And I will tell you why, because it's a useful metal used in everything, right? Versus gold, which is not really used. It's used as a store of value, and that's basically it. Um, I love gold, but I really, really love me some silver. Okay, apes out there unite. I love me some silver. Silver has so many applicable values out there compared to gold at this point. So I say let them choke on their gold. Let them choke on their gold, and let's go to a Bitcoin standard. Okay, let's go to a standard where it's transparent and we have the trust and we can do it now. And I would say that's it's going to be Bitcoin, and hopefully, like, I say Litecoin is going to be the transactional currency because it's the other one that shares the Lightning Network. And Bitcoin and Litecoin share the Lightning Network. So there are some, I guess, dApps on ETH that are making some altcoins being able to converge on the Lightning Network. We will see about that. I think that a stable coin backed by gold is a horrible idea, because you have this middleman still. You still have the third party trust situation that you have to verify. And I don't like the idea of trusting someone with my gold in representation of, I guess, everything you can consider a derivative of gold, right? So that is the thing that that they're basically they're betting on. It's a 6,000-year-old money, right? I can't tell you the history of gold, but we have computers now. So like now, if you think that computers are going away, maybe there'll be some solar storm and computers will go away, and we'll all have to go back to like trading coins, and I'm sure we'll have probably worse problems than what our currency is going to be. But that is a scenario, right? Is if that happens and all computers and all the semiconductors out there, just the plants get stopped, then possibly gold is the best bet. But nowadays, why would you want to do that? If you want to be trustworthy, if you want to lead the country, and this is just an amazing article, you guys. I keep going back to this because what he says is that there's going to be this hyper dollarization, right? First, so the Fed knows that everybody's going to flood back to the dollar. So everybody's going to flood back to the dollar. And then it's only a short-term solution to this giant, crazy debt-based system that we have going on. So it's only this short-term solution. So the long-term solution is trust, freedom of people, separation of state and money. And that is the next greatest thing this is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm so excited about the separation of state and money. And it's going to be it's a paradigm shift, and countries and counties, right, that count things, It's all based on accounting and how people keep tabs and money and what is money. And if you change the fundamental thing that what is money, and most people don't know what money is. If you ask most people, I would say 95% of people, they don't really know what money. They'll tell you that the US dollar is money. And it's just a piece of paper, right? It's like a piece of paper, an IOU from the Fed, which is not uh, a, it's not a federally owned corporation. It's a privately owned corporation that the central bank has got involved with, and they know what they're doing, and they have these crazy meetings, and they're basically planning on on crashing the system. Like they know they're going to crash the system. The stock market, these things, you guys, derivative system is out there, and it's a quadrillion dollars, and it's all paper fugazi that the people are just passing around, right? And in all this digital chaos, all the middlemen are making ridiculous amounts of money, and cryptos simplify that with math as the thing that I trust. And I trust math over any centralized entity. I trust that this equals this because it's gone through this decentralized network. And that is something that we were missing. And we never had computers. And then this was the next logical step, like having an internet-based money. And like, I don't trust any CBDC. There's a reason the US is a leader of Bitcoin. And there's a reason that we're starting to grow so much as far as all the states. Like look at all the states here. Like it goes to the states. Look at all these green states, you guys. This is where the hash rate is shared by state. And you'll see like Georgia is just mining away out there, out in the humidity out there. The peaches are turning to Bitcoin miners. And by adopting Bitcoin, also we're basically waging an energy. It's more of an energy battle, right? It's this energy battle because it takes energy to create a Bitcoin. And our infrastructure, even though we think it's shitty, is a lot less crappy than China's infrastructure right now. So we would actually benefit from adopting more of a Bitcoin mining friendly stance. And there's a reason why we're letting this in right now. We know we can't win. We're just trying to figure out how to transition right now the world from this Fugazi, because it's gotten a little out of control. This is bloated, thing that's not really working anymore, because now we have a solution to not have to pay 10% to try to transfer money. We can just immediately do it really cheaply. For countries like Africa and places where it doesn't have, we're lucky in America, we have this amazing banking system, right? Or I guess you call it amazing. We have this banking system. It's slow as, all hell. It takes 5 days to transfer money, and hopefully you don't have a weekend that nobody's working, because then you're not, the middleman's not pushing the buttons fast enough, right? So it's all these, like, it's just a horrible, it's when you've used cryptos for even like a short amount of time, the old system looks like this dying whale. Like, why would you pay even 5%? Like is robbery on a transaction, you guys. 5%. Remember the ATMs out there that charge like 3%, 4%? Like that's a normal thing, right? Sometimes it's more, right? In places like Africa, it's a lot more because the infrastructure is even less, and they have, it costs more to get things there. So anyways, I think there's going to be a hyper dollarization, and then the long-term solution is going to be crypto. It's going to be something that's been out there, it's probably going to be partially Bitcoin. I'm hoping Litecoin, because Litecoin, I think Litecoin shares, even by being a test net for Bitcoin, it's still worth, and the charts are saying, you guys, right now, the charts are saying, Litecoin is the place to be. This is the Litecoin to Bitcoin chart. I love this chart. This is basically showing that my price target out here is like 2% of a Bitcoin. That's how you read this read this chart. And on the next bull run, if Bitcoin gets to 200,000, then that's $4,000 Litecoin. And we're at, you know, $83. Okay. And so that would be the next logical step for the migration of all this derivative money, you guys, that quadrillion dollars that Bitcoin is slowly devouring. And it's also devouring currencies, other people's currencies. So like as Bitcoin proceeds, it's actually going to increase the dollar's strength. So we're going to see the dollar blow up. The dollar is gonna pop out, you guys. I hate to say this. I hate to tell you guys this, but the dollar is going to be a juggernaut, and it's gonna take out a lot of stuff. And everybody hates the dollar, but this is gonna be the savior in the interim where everything is. I write crap right here because there's this like bond. The bond equity portfolio, the 60-40 is all based on, having a little bit of this, because if the dollar pumps right now, then bonds are gonna, bonds is actually where you're gonna want to be, right? So you're gonna want to be in bonds right now. And this thing's gonna pop up and you're gonna take your 5% all day long on a 3-month, right? You're gonna take your 5% on a 3-month, or on I think, and it's inverted, right? It's totally inverted right now, you guys. That's the other thing. 100% of the time that the yield curves has inverted, we have entered into a massive recession. And this thing's going to look like a depression. It's going to be crazy, you guys. Like, I'm in it. Cheers, you guys. I'm in it with you. I'm going to document this whole thing because it is going to be an amazing journey. And I'm here, cheers, you guys. I really think this is going to be a pretty amazing thing. I think that volatility in Bitcoin is only going to continue. So I think that this whole analogy that things are leveling off is a farce. Okay. And it could look like, he says it right at the very beginning that we are here, where is it? Where is it? We are here. Okay. So this thing actually does go flat. It kind of like looks like it's curling over, but then it's just like the third inning comes in, you guys. And this is how things are adopted. This is the adoption curve. Okay. So this is where we're at. Think about it. If you're here, you were so fortunate. I'm sorry this video has gone on long enough. I will get to I should get to Litecoin. Okay. I do love Litecoin. But I love the idea of cryptos. I just think Litecoin's the best solution to this whole thing. It has privacy. It has that privacy factor. And people can ask, people say, they're like, wow, why does privacy matter? If you're not trying to be shady, if you're not an arms dealer, then you don't really need to be private, right? Well, that's a misconception, and I can say that money is used for barter, right? So if we are exchanging goods and services for this thing, then it puts me at a disposition if you know exactly how much I have in my bank account, right? If you can look up how much, I know he has this much money, all right? I'm going to charge this amount of rate for this service, okay? It puts me at a disposition that's not good. Money needs to be private, because of bartering skills. If everybody knows exactly how much money you have, then they can ask for the exact amount that they think that they can get out of you, without, the biggest way for you to say yes, it puts you at a disposition. You cannot deny. This is not for arms dealers and for terrorists and all these other people. It's not for that. Yes, it can be used for that. Okay. But it puts me at a disposition in a trade situation, and it puts everybody in disposition, not just me. It's everybody. You need to have your finances be semi-private, for the people that solicit you are going to use that information against you, right? And we're not communist China here, you guys. We're Americans, so at least I am. I mean, all our allies. I hope you guys believe in freedom. I hope you believe in freedom of speech And this is why I'm here. No one's putting me here. I'm probably going to get censored on YouTube, but maybe not. I don't think, I want the message to be out there. I think that freedom is important, and if you get censored for that, then that's a problem. But we need a monetary element, which is cryptos, to bridge this next transition of the human species, and that's this amazing time that we're living in. We're living through it, you guys. We're living through this change of monetary policy, but it's like a paradigm shift because everybody's so used. The old generations clinging on to this, the dollar in its current state, which I believe the dollar has is going to have an ultimate state, and a state to make it have this longevity that we couldn't even really comprehend at the first, when, since the dawn of history, right? So the dawn of every centralized entity that's controlled the monetary flow, whether it is, whether it's Romans stamping out, gold, Nepalese dollars, right? And then smashing a little bit of copper in there, or bronze, because then they can double their money. They learn that real quick, right? So you can change gold and make 2 coins now, right? So, ever since the beginning of time, centralized banks basically have debased our money and debased our purchasing power. If you give people, it solves that problem. That solves the problem of trust, because it's hard in the history of mankind. Trust is the fundamental aspect that central banks eventually they violate. They violate that. And I hold a dollar. I don't know how many dollars you're going to create. I don't know how many bonds you're going to create. It should be money should be fair, a fair system that we all have, and it should be private. So I believe that. I believe in freedom. I hope you guys are out there, doing on this beautiful night. We are having a buy signal on the hash ribbons for Litecoin. There is this crazy. This is not a bearish divergence. I was trying to see if I was looking at this pattern I was seeing with the volume coming in here on the MACD. The things I'm seeing on Litecoin, I'm not really seeing much right now, you guys. I'm seeing possibly like on a bigger time frame. We are having this buy. The smooth and Higanashi has shifted, into the green, as I've said. I am worried about this kind of a situation, this double top situation. I think in the short term, we're probably going to have a little bit more capitulation, guys. We're still in a bear market until proven otherwise. If I get more facts, then I will change my opinion. But basically, Bitcoin has to break this line, right? So Bitcoin on the weekly has to break this line. If it breaks this line, back tests right here, and then breaks out, then I can start changing my tune, because we're setting higher lows, right, and higher highs. So we're changing to change its pace. Other than that, I say in the inner term, I still think a test of above 22. If we actually get to 24,000, you guys, that would be actually breaking this macro structure here, and we can start singing a different tune. But this is kind of ultimately where I think Bitcoin might be headed here, is this bottom of this wedge before a breakout, before we come up here. And unfortunately, that's at 10,000. So, I personally have a couple buy orders down here at the 10,000, 11,000 mark right here. So we'll see if those get filled, and you guys can be here with me on that kind of a move. We'll see if that happens. I will, I definitely have some Litecoin orders in as well, at that 50 range. As I said, I really like that 53 to 50 range, and even so low, it might even go as low as 48. I think I have one order as at 48. Just in case this thing does roll over. If the S&P or some black swan event, you guys, we could go even lower, you guys. So there's so much out there. I don't want to be a pessimist here. I'm actually long-term super bullish on cryptos because I think there's going to be this paradigm shift. We're going to have this hyper dollarization. It's going to kill all the other currencies. Everything's, since the dollar is the dominant one, it's going to be the longest to last. And it's unfortunate for the euro, it's unfortunate for the yen, but if we coordinate with our allies, we can all start buying Bitcoin now. And then when the ultimate, the ultimate paradigm shift is the long-term solution to the dollar, and then this dollar Bitcoin pairing, basically, that's not just a pairing of, it's a reserve, the reserve currency. So we are early, you guys. I'm glad you're here with me. If you need anything, this is not financial advice on this channel, but if you guys need anything, need to cover anything, let me know. I am glad to cover anything. Let me know in your comments below. I do this for you. I'm sorry this video's gone on long enough, but I am stoked to be here. Cheers. Salute you guys. Lawton out.